Well, just say something. Welcome back to Headaches and Hot Takes. I'm your host, Shapirian. That's my guy, Hern, a.k.a. the 100-point hoe, a.k.a. the Western Virginia Virgin, a.k.a. the Colonel from Cape Canaveral, the Herniator. What's up, pal?
Wow. I've been everywhere, man, with these nicknames tonight.
That's kind of true. But you're known for a lot of great things, and then also that one thing in the middle there, which, I mean, you have a child.
Yeah.
Kind of weird. I don't know.
So what?
Like, what are they calling you? How these nicknames are getting out of control, aren't they?
Could you repeat that one? The West Virginia one? Is that what you were talking about?
The Western Virginia Virgin is what people are calling you on the streets.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, I don't know what to say. you got me on that one. That one has me
sounds
stumped.
like it's true. So it sounds like, I don't know. Sounds accurate.
Adopted my daughter.
Well, I have a question for you. Your words, not mine. I have a question for you. What state are you from?
Oh, West Virginia.
That's not what I was hoping you were going to say in terms of
There was a shirt.
the pronunciation there. Ugh.
There's a shirt that our good friend and his younger brother he bought, and it was supposed to say West Virginia, and it was missing a.
The
I
second
can't even remember
eye?
at this point what it was missing, but it
guess it would be
said
the
West
third
Virginia.
The third eye. That's pretty good. Not gonna
West
lie.
Virginia. I would have framed that.
Pretty good. The reason I ask is because, despite the fact that I am also from West Virginia, if I was given, I understand this might not be the norm for everybody, but if I was giving a blank U.S. map, I could outline all 50 states, zero problems. No problem.
Don't do this to me.
Okay? I'm not going to ask you to do this. Are you saying you could not do that, though?
Yeah, this has been a long discussion. There was that thing. It was like 2 years ago. It was like you get $1 million for every state you can name, but if you miss one, you lose everything.
Okay, but hold on. So I have to name them, or can I put them on the map?
Yeah. I said name. It was like place them on a map.
No problem at all. Zero problem. Yeah. That's kind of
No
bad.
way, dude.
I mean, I understand I've got kind of a different mind than a lot of people, but I could absolutely look at a map and... Could you, if nothing else, if looking at a map, tell every neighboring state to the state that you live in right now?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Could you, when you were in West Virginia, do that? This is every neighboring state.
Yeah.
There's Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, Tennessee. Does not touch, actually. I think it was Kentucky. And then
No, West Virginia down to
by
Tennessee.
like an 80 miles, right?
West Virginia
Kentucky
down to
doesn't.
Tennessee.
Ohio. So it's just, I guess it's just Ohio, Kentucky, Virginia, Maryland, Pennsylvania, I guess. And Tennessee's really close, but doesn't. Anyways, the reason I'm asking.
Maryland?
Yeah, Maryland touches for at least a little bit, right? Am I wrong? Well, I know for a fact I could identify Maryland on a map. I'm
not the guy
I'm
to
going
ask,
by memory.
but
I did not even
don't
look
think-
up a U.S. state map before I did this.
I'm not the guy to ask, but I
Now
don't
I'm
think we share a border with
questioning
Maryland.
everything. Yeah, we 100% touch Maryland, bud. That's what the Eastern Panhandle touches. But
Wow.
we do miss Tennessee, like we said, by that like 80 miles stretch.
Maybe I couldn't then. I said I could name the neighboring states. Maybe I couldn't because I would not have named Maryland.
It's a tiny little sliver. The reason I ask, Hern, is because I am 100 recurring theme for this episode, 100% sure that you have encountered somebody not knowing that the state that you're from is a freaking state. Surely to God, that would not happen to you if someone's like, I'm from New Hampshire. Okay, I've heard of New Hampshire. I'm from, I don't know, Vermont, right there with it. Okay, I've heard of it. I'm from Delaware. I've heard of it. I'm from Utah. Heard of it. South Dakota. Yeah, that's up there. You know, there's not a state that I'm going to be like, hold on a minute. You're from South Dakota? You mean North Dakota, right? That's not a thing.
Mm-hmm.
So why so frequently do people constantly forget that West Virginia is a state? Why?
I don't understand, dude. Whenever we were in Knoxville, which again,
College sports?
Tennessee doesn't border West Virginia by a whole 60 miles, which in the grand scheme of
60
things
miles,
is
okay.
nothing.
No.
Is nothing.
No.
What would happen most frequently is I would say I'm from West Virginia, and they would say, "Oh, how far from Richmond? Oh, how far from whatever?" As if I was saying
Roanoke was a common
west I'm from the west side of the state of Virginia. Does anybody do that ever?
Never.
Oh, I'm from.
I mean, maybe like, Southern California, Northern California. I feel like they divide it up a lot, but that's the only instance of it
because it's tall. But
yeah,
I'm from South Florida. Okay, I don't think people are saying that. I don't think.
They're not.
But even then, I don't know how you don't know West Virginia as a state to not be able to differentiate that I mean the state of West Virginia. And the number of people that literally in Knoxville didn't know. I was like, what is happening?
And I get if you're an idiot that West Virginia University doesn't mean anything because there's a Western Kentucky, Northern Kentucky, Eastern Kentucky. Those all exist. So West Virginia could mean Western Virginia by the name of the university. I understand that. But like, God, are you just not paying attention that hard? The reason I ask is because in the cube next to me this morning, or not this morning, it was as I was winding down at the end of the day. The cube next to me consists of people who are, technically speaking, in my department, but 100% of their work is separate from 100% of the work of the rest of our department, including me, okay? They're with us because there's nowhere else to stick them. They're such a niche group, okay? Very tight-knit group of like 6 people, okay? And I'm overhearing them talking. And fine, we get along, just fine. Very nice people. But I hear them talking because, I'm one wall between us, right? And I'm like, the wall's like this thick. I hear you, right? And I can look over it if I had to. So I'm hearing everything you're saying. And they're being loud, whatever. It's not a problem. One of them somehow goes, so I randomly found out I have this relative in West Virginia. Okay? Someone said that. And this other bozo responds. He goes, isn't everyone in Western Virginia related?
If you're going to insult us, do it properly.
I don't know, pal. Is everyone in Ohio really stupid and bad at geography? What a sick burn about the geography, right? I get it. Whatever. The point being...
what a sick burn.
Right. Yeah,
I'm glad you realized that. Like you saw that coming.
Yeah.
That's funny. That was good.
Isn't everyone from Western Virginia related? Are you stupid?
First off, I feel like that's more... Is that more of a West Virginia joke or more of an Alabama joke?
It's an Alabama joke. In all honesty,
an Alabama joke.
I know one person whose parents were first cousins in West Virginia. One person, which is probably more than most people know elsewhere. I know of one person, I should say, whose parents were first cousins. Mm-hmm. And I know of that one inbred family, the Whitakers, who have like whole documentaries on them and stuff.
There's the Whitakers, there's the Whites, there's the...
Don't know them at all.
I get them mixed up. But it's like the Wonderful Whites. They get like the Wild and Wonderful Whites is what they call them, I think.
Don't know them. The heck
there were people. Was it in Knoxville or was it maybe in Morgantown? I can't remember. But they identified us because of that. And they're like, it was in Knoxville. They were like, oh yeah, we've seen Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. Like they knew. That's how they knew. Whatever. Fun fact: I'm pretty sure that's a movie. I might be getting it mixed up with the Whitakers, but I'm pretty sure there's like a movie called The Wonderful Whites of West Virginia. And they go into Kroger at some point in that movie. It's like The Office, where like they just followed them around with cameras. They went into the Beckley Crossing Kroger.
Beckley Crossing? Oh,
yes,
God.
Sir. So where I worked for a number of months.
My dad worked there too for a long time. So how about that? Wow, we're basically famous.
A couple Kroger boys.
My middle school is featured in Super Size Me now as well. If you know about that one.
The middle school is now. Wow, I know.
Park was.
Obviously our high school
was in there. Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Was Woodrow in there too?
I guess I should say I don't know if Woodrow was in there, but I know he's a Woodrow alum.
Oh, I didn't even know he was a Woodrow alum.
Yeah.
I had no idea because Park was in there and he spoke to like the head cook who was still the head cook when I was there and stuff like that, and they were in the kitchen. So, anyways, I just want to point this out. If you're gonna know enough about West Virginia to make the incest inbred jokes, you need to know enough to know that West Virginia is a state and not Western Virginia. And I promise you, nobody. He was not joking. He was joking. No, he wasn't. He was not kidding. He was not kidding. He wasn't. I'm not Mr. West Virginia. Like pound the drum for West Virginia. I'm not. Okay. I left. I'll never go back in terms of living there. Never.
Correct.
Okay. I might get further away. I doubt I get closer. That being said, I never so badly wanted to yell at someone who, like, technically speaking, is above me on the chain of command from a cube over in a conversation I'm not in to say, it's West Virginia. If you're going to make jokes about us, at least get it right.
Yeah.
And hopefully he would have felt like, a douche, like he was being. Because that's so stupid. First of all, unless he's just not paying attention, he 100% has heard that I'm from West Virginia. It came up at like our Christmas party because there was this thing where like we're playing a game of like passing the gifts around due to like, it's like they turned into a team building thing and they're like, pass this gift to someone who did not go to high school in Ohio or Kentucky because we're on the Kentucky border. So a lot of people are from northern Kentucky. I was the only one.
Nice.
And everyone was like, what? And most people that know me well know I'm from West Virginia. But it was a thing. They're like, where are you from? West Virginia. Oh, okay. Huh. So, yeah. I did not know I was the only one, by the way. God. I make fun of people for... I don't know about you anyways. I generally make fun of people who grew up in West Virginia and stay in their hometown in West Virginia. If you move around, that's fine. No disrespect to anyone, especially if you're listening. I promise, no disrespect. Because I'm not making fun of everyone. Like, we know someone who listens pretty regularly who's doing very well for themselves in our hometown. You know what I'm saying? But the general norm of people who grow up in our hometown and stay in our hometown is, heroin addicts. So it's not a lot of people who are sticking around because they want to stick around. So generally, I make fun of that. But then again, I'm here. I moved to Cincinnati, and everyone from here grew up here and stayed here. And to a degree, that's kind of what I'm hoping my kids do. You know what I'm saying? Unless they just have something better elsewhere. So,
yeah.
But I see this is a better area for that. Keep going.
Yeah, I do I made the joke whenever COVID was real big because West Virginia was the last state to get a confirmed case.
We were, because no one wants to come and no one wants to leave.
I said it's because most West Virginians don't leave their house, let alone the state. And I thought that was rather funny. West Virginia is one of those things where, it fits this thing perfectly of only I can make fun of it. It does. And honestly, you can't make fun of it.
As straight white males, it's the only thing that we can make fun of is country people from West Virginia. That's the only card we have. And I'm not looking for more cards. It's fine. I'm fine with the one card. I don't need cards. But I'm happy with the one card that I have of being able to make fun of country bumpkins. So,
country bumpkins.
Anyways, I just thought you might get a kick out of that. And I just wanted to kind of start us off with that because it pissed me off. Isn't everyone from Western Virginia related? God, give me a break. Do you want to get going yourself, sir, on what I believe is my favorite, your favorite, someone's favorite segment of the week? I can't remember who.
I think it's both. Is it not both of our favorite segments of the week? It's
a joke. I'm being sarcastic.
That was me picking up.
Was it? Well done. Because you did the thing okay. First of all, I didn't even know if you were back in yet.
Yeah,
but second of all, well done. I appreciate it. I have a question for you about sarcasm. Can it still
be... Are we rolling?
Yes, we're rolling, you whore.
Okay.
Is it sarcasm if the person talks exactly how they would talk normally, if the subject matter they're saying is obvious within the context of the situation or conversation that they're being sarcastic? Yes.
Yeah,
right?
you don't
have to change your tone.
I'm trying to think of how Chandler Bing was because obviously he's the king of sarcasm. I don't think Chandler Bing...
The exact same thing. The exact same thing. He did not change his tone.
He kept his tone. Yeah, you'd have to know...
My wife will pick up on his sarcasm, does not understand mine. You're not supposed to talk the same and sound like you're being real when you're being sarcastic. That's the best kind of sarcasm.
That is, yeah. Stupid chair keeps squeaking.
Okay.
It's like you and my chair.
Yeah, mine's really bad. Mine is terrible, bro. It's not that bad right now.
That's how it always happens. Your chair farts in the middle of an exam. You cannot make it recreate that fart. People are gonna think you farted.
You farted. You did it.
Dude, my stomach does this thing. This happens to you. This first leg of this happens to you, I assume. The second leg of this, I've never told another person that they say this happens to them.
The second leg.
You're like your stomach will sit there and it's gas is just moving through your stomach and you're sometimes to a tone that could be akin to a fart. No?
Yeah.
Okay.
Of course.
TMI, sometimes that literally happens, but it's at my butthole. So it went 100%.
I needed way more of a TMI like,
it might as well be a
I
fart.
got there.
It might as well be a fart. It's just that I have no control over it.
I had that
but it'll
happen,
be like,
but it's at my throat all the time.
a burp?
Yeah, but I'm just saying, like, it's just gas, like, caught there, but I don't have to burp. It's like in my throat.
Okay.
It started happening when I got
it,
GERD, for what it's worth, which I did not know the thing until you told me about it, and then, like, 2 months later, I developed it.
Yeah, GERD sucks.
GERD. It sounds disgusting. It makes me want to die.
It does.
Anyways.
But yeah, the sound will, I mean, I call it a fart because that's where it's coming out of, but I have no control over it. And that'll happen in the middle of exams, and I'm like,
that's some sort of gastrointestinal problem there. I would definitely, like, maybe ask a doctor. Maybe not. Whatever. You know?
I might do. I might do it.
But anyways.
I might do it. Who knows?
I believe it sounds like you might. Anyways, I believe we're at one of our favorite segments of the week. I can't remember whose.
I thought it was ours, but you're acting like it's just mine.
Well, it might be mine. It might be yours. I can't remember.
Hot take of the week, baby. I got a take that is, in my opinion, hot.
Okay.
It is hot to a specific demographic. I don't know even if you'll have enough of an opinion on this. I know you will have an opinion, but I don't know if you'll be like, ugh, about it.
Mexicans.
Here we go.
That is a deep cut, by the way.
That is like episode
that is a Headaches and Hot
3?
Takes deep cut. Episode 2, I think. 3. It would be 3 because I did the first on episode 2.
You did first hot take,
3.
yeah.
That is a deep cut. And I feared for my life. I, in that moment, thought, this podcast is not going to work. I was like, this guy's a closet racist. This is not going to work.
Was that my first hot take? All of you on second? I guess it
Mexicans. Italians. You came in and said Chinese. You literally said Mexicans.
Pause.
Italians. The Chinese. What do they all have in common? You
gotta tee it up.
You scared the crap out of me.
Like, what did I get into?
We had a good 2-episode run, bro. Because I'm not posting this if you're going where it sounds like you're going. I'm not putting my name on this if you're going where it sounds like you're going. Anyways, where's your hot take that's hot to only a certain demographic?
My hot take, that the only way you're going to have an argument in it is you need to go back and watch what I'm telling you to do.
Okay.
Avengers Age of Ultron is superior in almost every way to the first Avengers. You have spoken before. Apparently, you have spoken before about nostalgia glasses. If you think Avengers is better than Avengers 2, take your nostalgia off. I would say, sincerely, what percentage of Avengers is cringe? But, like, I understand the cringe. Like, it's the first time they had their group together, so they're going to get the cool group shots in. I get that. But they clearly know how to do it and what's cheesy. Because there's shots in the movie where it circles around all 5, 6 of them at once, and they're all doing something, and it's awesome. It's in the middle of an action sequence. Then there's moments, like when they beat Loki. Hulk knocks Loki out. And then when he wakes up, they're all just staring at him. So I guess they all just stood over him, just waiting on him to wake up.
And roll
Hawkeye,
it.
And Hawkeye goes, stop.
Thanks, Clint.
That is the most, it's so cringe. You're gonna hit Loki with an arrow. We got the Hulk standing right here, buddy. He doesn't care that you're drawing an arrow.
That's another discussion for another day.
It's so cheesy. So many of the lines are cheesy. The Captain America suit in that movie, he looks like a Boy Scout, which is half the reason I can't stand Captain America.
Don't get me started.
Captain America, I can't stand him from the beginning.
Awful hero.
I like him in Winter Soldier. It's one of my favorite Marvel movies. But dude, then he does the biggest swing. By Infinity War, I love him. In Endgame, he skyrockets for me.
He's great.
He's got some of the best character development.
In Civil War, I'm like,
Civil War, so I didn't like him.
You're wrong.
I'm saying,
you're wrong,
up till Civil War, up through Civil War, I didn't like him.
He was on the wrong side of Civil War.
The suit's terrible. Whatever. And then there's so many things that are spurring from this. Like the argument that him and Tony have over, you're not the guy to lay down and make the sacrifice play. Everybody talks about how Tony did in Endgame. Tony did 20 minutes later in that movie. How stupid are you?
They weren't alluding to something 4 movies later. They were literally alluding to it like for that movie.
But everybody just focuses on the fact that Tony literally sacrificed himself in Endgame, and not the fact that he quite literally sacrificed himself in Avengers 1. He was about to in the second one, because he's underneath a literal meteor trying to stop it. He's the only one underneath it. Nobody else is there.
Just a suit of iron. What are you? You're a science experiment.
Yeah,
I
it
love
is.
that part. You're a science.
It is a
experiment.
great.
Like you earned your powers. You're a science experiment. Give me a break.
Yeah, it is a great argument. Ultron, dude. Some of Ultron's lines are. He's one of the best villains in the MCU. He has to be. And Loki's great. I'm glad they kept him around so long. Loki is literally just a pawn. I
got tired of Loki.
He almost does nothing. He brainwashes everybody, and what else does he do? He almost doesn't do anything. He's not a good villain.
I like his face turn, I will say. His face turn, his redemption angle was kind of good.
Yes. Yeah. I like Loki as a whole. I'm just saying, as a villain, he was not great. He was very subpar, I think, as a villain. I understand it was a big threat and whatever. Ultron's lines alone, you need to go back and watch. The action sequences are better in Ultron. The story's better in Ultron. The stakes are higher in Ultron. It's a great sequel. And it is better in nearly... I'm trying to think of ways where I could say, maybe it's not better for this reason than the first one. I don't know if I can.
Let me ask you
this. The first
this.
Avengers movie has a lot of good moments, but it's so cheesy, dude.
Is that the one with Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch?
Ultron is, yeah.
Yeah. That'd be right there. And then it gets even better when you get Strange and Scarlet Witch in there. The two best Avengers. Besides the point. Who to you are the core Avengers? I'm sure there is a definitive answer to this. But who to you? I mean, there's the original group, I guess, from the first movie. Which would be who? Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, the Hulk, Black Widow, Hawkeye? Is that them?
Yeah.
Can I be real for a second here? I love the MCU. Who of that group really did not get corny by the time it was all said and done? Iron Man? Is that the only one? I was tired of Clint entirely. I did not enjoy the Black Widow solo movie. And also she sacrifices herself in this stupid little, I'm going to die. No, I'm going to die. No, I'm going to die. No, I'm going to die. Give me a freaking break. Okay?
Just when you die.
In all honesty, like if that movie had even a shred of realism, which is something I literally have something cooking in my mind for like a whole project idea for a show that I really liked. If that had any shred of realism, they both would have accidentally killed themselves. They would have both sacked themselves for freaking nothing. And nobody would have been there to get that stone. They both were trying to kill themselves, okay? Whatever.
I get it. What would have happened if she dives off the cliff? What if you miss? You're both dying, the idiots. I never thought about that. That's great.
No point is she wouldn't miss. She's Black Widow. He wouldn't miss. He's Hawkeye. What if you both miss, you freaking idiots?
But what if?
So listen, I get it. You both want to be the noble one there. One of y'all jumps off. I'm letting you jump off. I'm not chasing you while you're midair to be like, no, I'm going to grapple hook you and stick you into the cliff and I'm going to fall. Give me a break.
I'm also like, I'm sorry. Like,
who's not corny in that original group? Hulk, so corny by the end. Useless. Stuck in Hulk form. Hardly does anything for action sequences. Useless. Okay?
Okay, fair.
Iron Man, GOAT.
I think Cap goes from peak corny in Avengers to...
That's the thing, but he was corny to start. He was corny to start. So he's like, you don't get a pass. You were corny for half of the MCU. He does very well in the end. I very much like him in Infinity War and Endgame, okay? Which, by the way, for what it's worth, Infinity War and Endgame are the only two Avengers movies I've rewatched. Maybe that's a knock on me. I've not gone back and rewatched any of them in years. It's been a long time.
That's crazy.
Who am I missing? Is that everyone? You all Thor, Love and Thunder. Corny.
Yeah.
You're corny.
Yeah.
Sorry. You're all washed or started out washed, except Iron Man. So like the original Avengers, I don't even really idolize. The best members of the MCU to me, not in order, would be Iron Man. I acknowledge Captain America is pivotal to the whole thing, although I'm lower on him the most. And you are too, it sounds like. It's my sister's favorite, for what it's worth. Doctor Strange, GOAT. Opens up the whole multiverse.
We'll talk about that
Thanos,
eventually.
GOAT. Okay? GOAT villain. Wanda opens up a whole other realm in terms of magic that Strange was never going to get to. I don't know, man. I just think, like, by the time it was all said and done, the core Avengers were not even the highlights of the MCU anymore. Maybe just Cap and Iron Man. Black Panther had a lot of interesting layers and futuristic technology that was unheard of and never would have been introduced otherwise. I don't know, man. I just think by the end, and that's one of the things that made it beautiful. Also, Spider-Man is Still the most profitable of all of them.
Spider-Man.
Yeah, Spider-Man. I don't have to intro that.
Yeah.
We finally made an Avenger. Look what happened. So, yeah. Am I missing somebody really big there, like a bigger name? I might be, because I'm just so whatever.
I'm like, yeah, like, I guess, eventually, by the time Endgame rolls around, I guess, are they all Avengers one way or another?
Yeah,
Drax.
Pretty much everyone. Yeah. I would count it, right? He's in there. Drax the Avenger, right? I mean, technically.
The Destroying
He could be in my room right now, and I wouldn't even know.
He could be.
Because he's mastered invisibility.
So slow.
So good. I didn't mean to steal the thunder from your hot take, pal. I really apologize. But I agree. Age of Ultron, I do think was better than the original Avengers. Did I disagree with this at one point? I don't think I did.
I don't think so.
No, I think I remember it being better. I had like collectibles and stuff from that one because I remember really enjoying it. So.
Oh, dude.
I like the Iron Man suit from that movie as well, for what it's worth. You mentioned
you just sparked something in me that I should have thought. This brief headache, a bonus headache for the
bonus headache. Nice.
Did you see our idol Sal Volcano on his podcast the other day doing the 80s toys gauntlet? Did you see that? Do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I did not see this. I've been on a big 80s IP kick right now with the Ninja Turtles. So I'm curious as to what this is about.
They're doing some like big gauntlet where like they're slowly a big tournament, literally like a bracket of 80s toys. I knew the moment I saw Star Wars was in there, I was like, people aren't going to read it that it's toys. They're going to say Star Wars and vote for it because it's Star Wars. So at first, Star Wars beat He-Man, which it already should have.
It has better toys. I'm sorry. Yeah, it does.
I think He-Man toys are
the Wookiees.
Legendary.
Obviously, the lightsaber battles and stuff. I like He-Man. I liked my He-Man toys when I was a kid.
I won't sit here and argue for He-Man beating it. I think it should have. That's fine. The one I will argue with, and first off, again, you go read the replies to that tweet. Star Wars episodes 4, 5, and 6 are great. It's the toys, you idiot. Can you read? Are you able to differentiate, or do your eyes just see Star Wars and you're like, oh, Star Wars! Whoa! Stop. So then it goes up against Transformers.
Dude.
Star Wars toys do not belong in the same sentence as toys that literally revolutionized the toy industry. Get out. But
I'm just going to come in real quick and interrupt you mid-sentence just to say, especially with the pick that I've been on, I'm pissed that the Turtles aren't on here. You got to be freaking kidding me. The Turtles aren't on here.
You just said that, and I was wondering. I was like, are they? I was like, are they on there?
80s Legos are on here. Etch-a-Sketch is on here, and the Ninja Turtles aren't. They've sold more toys than all of these guys, just about. Not literally all of them. Hot Wheels outsold them. My Little Pony outsold them. Etch-a-Sketch definitely outsold them. I just talked about the highest grossing IPs of all time. They peaked in 87. For the love of God, Sal, you should know better, Sal.
But you're listening.
What are you doing?
I don't care. I will never side with Star Wars fans on nearly anything. I think we've settled. I think we've talked about this. I think this is clear at this point. I'm putting my hatred of Star Wars aside. And I'm sincerely asking Star Wars fans, do you really think your toys are better than Transformers toys?
I do have one thing I'll say about this. And that's that the combination of humans, androids, and spaceships, and other creatures such as there was Jawas was in the first figure line, Chewbacca obviously, and then way later on, so not the 80s, so I'm talking like Jar Jar, Jabba the Hutt. Jabba the Hutt would have been around in the 80s. That aspect of it makes it very, very massively appealing to me. But to me, my personal favorite is going to be the WWE figures, by the way, for sure. But the two best, because I'm good at separating the two. I'm really good at separating the two. Best versus my favorite. Wrestlers are my favorite. Star Wars Transformers are the two best there, for sure. And the Transformers were revolutionary. Change it from a car to a fighting robot, bro, from outer space.
The toy industry, I don't understand, dude. But and it's when my hatred takes back over. It's like the freaking Venom suit, like it comes on.
Yeah.
it's because it's Star Wars. And like I said, you read the replies to the tweet. People literally they didn't care. They didn't read. They didn't understand
really
that
close,
it was about
it was
the
close.
toys.
It was close.
Was it? Because when I voted, it absolutely was not. It was only
43.
Okay, whenever I voted, it was literally
swing.
like I think it was literally like 70-30 whenever I voted. I voted early on it.
God, dang.
Yeah. So I was like, this is ticking me off in the most royal of ways because just that franchise, dude. That franchise.
Here's what I'll say about that real quick. And that's that we're talking about the 80s. We both have parents who were around in the 80s, right? So like they would have been partaking in these toys, obviously. It sounds to me like back then it was really just about, Mommy, I want this. This is the stuff I want. You know what I'm saying? You weren't necessarily having a Rubik's Cube, 4 Star Wars figures, 2 Transformers, a Cabbage Patch Kid, 3 wrestling figures, 7 Hot Wheels. Here's Skeletor. I don't know how I got him. It wasn't really that. It was more so like, can I get this? Can I get this? You were mad rushing for the certain things. Okay. Obviously, there are people who had a lot of everything. I had some of almost everything here for what it's worth growing up. My point being, with that in mind, the kids were obviously going to mostly want the ones that they thought at the time were the best, right? These are the toys. These are coolest, right? Mm-hmm. And Star Wars massively outsold Transformers. So it's that side of it. It seems like at the time, the kids thought Star Wars toys were the best. So you're definitely going to have more adults that also feel that way. So I'm not surprised by that at all. Critically speaking, though, I loved my brother's Transformers when I was a kid. I had one Optimus Prime, and then he got into Transformers and got like all of the main ones. Those were sick figures, bro. Great figures.
I can't really have this argument because my disdain of the franchise is going to take over.
Way to say disdain. Spider-Man. That is how it's spelled, is disdain. People say disdain, usually.
They throw a T in there?
Usually, yeah.
I disdain you with my Stanley steamer. I don't know. That just sparked that in me. I was royally ticked that. And like I said, if it were a fair fight and it were sincerely the toys of Star Wars and the toys of Transformers and the masses genuinely believe that the toys beat the toys, whatever, I'll shut up. But the fact is, because it's Star Wars, it's not going to lose because people, and the proof's in the pudding, the proof's in the tweets, people were not caring about that. They didn't care what the criteria was. They saw Star Wars, they voted for it.
Oh yeah, Star Wars movies are definitely better than the 80s Transformers show. It's not
even as a
with your hater
Transformers, I love Transformers, but the films, Star Wars is better. The
films, yeah, okay. Which
the overall overall IP, if you're talking about which one's better, I'll give you Star Wars. I'll give you that. Toys, you be able to be self-aware and acknowledge that maybe something Star Wars isn't the best.
I think maybe, but it's definitely close to me. I think it's really close. I could see myself giving Star Wars the nod, but the Transformer toys are very different.
Right. And again, that's fine if the people this shouldn't even be a contest. This isn't even close. And the guy who would say, this isn't even close. Episodes 4, 5, and 6 are way better. Stop. You don't know what the argument is.
I'm glad you said that. That'd be an interesting discussion. What was your favorite childhood toy? Was it your Transformers?
No.
What would it have been? Toys or toys? What was your favorite?
It depends on what we're calling childhood. Because when I was really, really little, Thomas the Tank Engine dude.
That's a fine answer. That's what you like.
I had a table. Some guy at our church built me a table that was a foot tall. That way, little kids could really play on it. And it was it was a 5 foot by 4 foot table. And I had that thing full of Thomas the Tank Engine stuff.
I went through phases with all mine. I pretty much had a phase for everything. Turtles, I mentioned already. Mm-hmm. Power Rangers, WWE figures, which I still collect some up to this day. Trying to think. I know I'm missing something. Those were the big.
I didn't have
hitters.
many figures. I had Bionicles, which I guess are figures. But I didn't have
those.
I didn't have GI Joes or the wrestlers or anything. I didn't have any of that stuff.
I had GI Joes at one point, but they were all secondhand. Yeah.
I had Legos too. One of my fondest memories of my brother is for my birthday, whatever it was. I got a Lego motorcycle. Literally took me weeks to finish this thing.
I love where this is going, bro.
This
can only be going one way.
The day I finish it. I also had this Lego ship. It was one of those things like there was no blueprint. It was like there was this big piece that was like the base of a ship, and I would always like put whatever I wanted on it. I always made it some kind of spaceship, but it was whatever I wanted. That was my favorite Lego. The day I finished the motorcycle, me and my brother were arguing. He grabs the motorcycle, throws it on the ship. They both discombobulate into a billion pieces that I will never put back together.
No way. That's great, dude. I love that kind of stuff, man. I had some Legos too. I had the big Duplo Legos though. The slow bus, the short bus Legos.
The ones that are like this big.
Yeah, but I mean, I was like 3. I mean, they're for like 3-year-olds. I shouldn't be playing with the tiny ones, so I get it.
Oh right. Yeah,
I like a big ton of those and stuff. I didn't really get into Legos until this past December. So, I just built.
Swing a little late.
Look what I just built, bro. Look at this. Go behavior. Borgor truck. Boom. Boom. Borgor truck. How funny is this thing, dude?
I don't know what I was expecting, but a burger truck.
Bro. Look at this guy.
That's a big bulb.
Borgor. I saw this set as coming out soon. And made it my life's mission to get it as soon as I could after it came out. I was like,
a Lego about
I gotta have that. And the burger comes off so you can like set it up as its own thing if you want. Bro, how fun is this? It's gonna sit on my shelf and never move.
How fun is this? This is great.
The fun part is building it. Anyways, back to the serious discussions podcast hosted by Hern and Chamberlain. This is only for serious discussions, not. We're talking about...
No joking around here.
Fortnite.
And Avengers. And
Actually, just kidding. Buddy, we went a little over on our last couple subjects. I definitely don't think we have time for both of the things that we plan on talking about. And I'm more than fine to push mine aside if you so prefer so that you can talk about something that's just on your mind. Something that's just not sitting right with you. Such as wiping when you stand up, which doesn't sit right with me.
Literally sit right.
That's why I said that. That's why I said that. I was like sitting
That's
right.
Great. That's
sitting,
great.
standing?
People are asking. We were going to discuss some conspiracy theories this week. We were going to go in and talk about like ones we do believe in, ones we don't believe in, like whatever. Ones we do buy into, ones we don't buy into, I think is a better way of wording it. If you want to, we can just focus on mine, which is one that I don't buy into, and I think you're kind of stupid for buying into it.
Yeah,
not you.
Mine was one that I do believe as a conspiracy is real. We'll get to it another day. Just a little teaser. It's a conspiracy that I buy the conspiracy theory. I think it's more likely that the conspiracy is true than the stuff that the media is pushing back from the 1960s is true. So, a little teaser, a little breadcrumbs for you. What do you have for us today, Hern?
We're going to focus on what, in my opinion, is the biggest conspiracy theory that I'm like, how do you go around voluntarily saying that, I don't believe this. We went to the moon. And I don't really understand the point of saying we didn't. There are points, like a lot of conspiracy theories, obviously, there are points to your argument that's like, some people raise decent points. Like, well, we didn't really go, we just said we did because we wanted to beat Russia at the space race. I get that. Oh, it's fake, this is fake, look at these photos, look at that photo, whatever. My biggest thing there, dude, I have yet to argue with another group of people with a like mind that are so incapable of looking at evidence for the other side. They are so...
How often are you getting in moon landing arguments?
I'm not, but I'm just saying, like...
Okay.
Like, they'll show you a video or a picture of the boot, a picture of the cart, a video of this. Look at this, look how fake. But then you show them a video, a picture, a whatever. Oh, no, that's fake. My video's real, your video's fake. What are we doing? Pick a side. Either shove it down my face and then accept me shoving it down your face, or I don't know. But so many points. Like, I think a good counter to like, well, we faked it to beat Russia. And first off, ask anybody. Ask
that
any
is a
person
viable ploy, actually. That
Right.
to me is viable reasoning.
But
Keep going.
And ask anyone this. Ask anyone. Do you know how many people have been to the moon?
25
and don't
or so?
and don't let them say we've never been to the moon. Stop. Like, answer the question. Do you know how many people we say have walked on the moon? No, they won't know.
20?
I promise you, not a single person who says we've never been to the moon. If you say how many people have been to the moon, well, none of them. Stop and answer my question. Do you know? No, you don't, because you saw a TikTok.
How many is it?
That it's 12.
I was going to say, actually, I was going to go to
missions.
13.
9 missions went to the moon, carrying people with 12 walked. Why would we send the first one? Maybe we did. Maybe we faked the first one because we didn't. Maybe we faked the first one to say we got there before Russia did, to win the space race.
By the way, they beat us to space.
You
So,
know what
like,
we're going to do?
it was called the
We're gonna
space race.
send-
They beat us to space for what it's worth. With
Right.
Sputnik.
Why, if that's the case, why would we send 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 more missions? 8 more people? 9 more people? I don't know
Get
who
the
all
sheep to
exactly
buy
walked
in.
for some. Why would we do it? Why? And why we stopped going? Because it is really expensive.
Insanely
Because once the
expensive still.
Great Space Race was over, NASA didn't have the funding that it had whenever we were trying to
And it's
be
just
everyone
rocks
there.
out there. It's just rocks.
There's just rocks, and now we have stuff out there. We have automated stuff to go look at it for us. We have a rover that honestly does better than a person because it doesn't need. There's no threat of it dying. There's no. It does its thing, and we get the same information, if not more, than we would if we were up there. How'd the buggy get there? We had, or how did the camera get there? We're sending a pod of metal to space. You don't think we could set up a camera on a tripod? What are we doing?
I have
don't
wondered that as well.
understand.
Do you know the answer to how the tripod got there as he was leaving the spacecraft? Did they set it up and then like stage it, like reenact him walking out? I actually don't know the answer to that. I have wondered that myself.
I honestly don't, but like maybe they just left it there, and the footage was transmitted. One thing, sincerely, that was annoying, and I ranted to you about this before we started recording. Like the phone call. How did he call them? How did we call the moon? Google it to try to find a point as to why. I honestly couldn't. You think it would be a pretty like, oh, like they use this technology, and they do. Like if you Google it and actually research, which none of you have done. If you actually Google it and research it, it'll say like, oh, like AT&T and these people, they made this thing. It was like new technology apparently that did it. But it's hard to find like blatant like whatever. But like people were talking about the buggy, how stupid it looks. Look at it, those are chairs from Target. That's an umbrella. It's 1969. Like I don't.
Yeah.
Did you want them to make a seamless Cybertruck to ride
I was
around
going
the
to say
moon?
Cybertruck. How funny.
Is that what you
I was-
wanted?
I was
Like-
going to say that.
I don't understand, dude. I just and I told you I did research, and some of the points that I saw I've never heard. Like apparently in the photos there's no stars in the background, and people think that's a thing. It's a camera from 1969. They're on the moon, which is very bright, and that's all that the camera is capturing because the stars in the back are not as bright as the moon. Just like your phone now still has a problem doing. If it's facing a light, your phone has a hard time picking up other stuff.
Yeah.
The flag's not moving. There's no wind. It's because they had a telescopic pole in it to make it look like a more authentic flag than like a literal piece of cardboard sitting on the moon. But I promise you, in the last 30 seconds, what I've said is more research than any of you have done to try to prove your side of it was fake. You've watched TikToks of people only pointing out random arguments. Look at the buggy, how stupid it looks. That means fake. No, that's not a point. Please say something, because I've just been ranting for like 4 minutes.
I'm loving it, bro. It's good stuff. I just want to say it sounds very akin to flat earthers, which I think this, okay? I'm not really into the whole cruel and unusual punishment from your government thing, despite the fact that it's literally not constitutionally allowed. Nor do I generally propose really bad things happening to anybody. Okay?
But
that being said, I will jokingly, #not jokingly, #jokingly, #if you know, you know, say, if you think the earth is flat and you publicly declare that, we should send you on a boat all around the whole world real quick.
No,
and
there's an
you
ice
should have
wall.
to explain how that's possible.
There's a wall of ice that prevents you from going around the world. I don't know if you knew that, but there is.
What?
Yeah, that's their thing. You know,
You
you
fly
reach
around
the
the world,
ice
though,
wall.
if nothing else.
Well, you can fly over the ice wall, I guess, but you can't sail around the ice wall.
There's a
I
whole
guess that's
ring of ice.
I guess that's their reason for why you can fly around the world, but you can't go like walking.
But how would
sailing
that
off
be?
the edge.
How would that matter in a flat Earth scenario? By the way, I could still get around the ice wall, climb the ice wall, and then hop off the Earth and die.
I guess it's just too huge. It is too huge for you.
Then
to
also
fathom.
explain how I could fly from California to Asia, going one way, and then the exact opposite way, go from DC to Asia.
It's because it's flat.
How is that possible if it's flat?
And that's what and that's a point for this. I don't know if you've seen this video or not, but there's that group. I don't know what show it was on or whatever, but they tried to prove
The light
that the
thing?
Earth was flat with the lights.
Wow.
And they literally proved that it
That's
wasn't.
interesting. That's interesting.
Yes,
He's
they
like-
literally
oh.
proved that it wasn't. But I respect them because at least they took the time. They literally put scientific evidence in to try to prove their point. They really tried. Instead of just watching
Yeah.
TikToks and believing something and not doing any do some thinking for yourself and look into it.
Yeah. That's one of
I don't
the
get it.
That's an all-time funny clip. They're like, should be this doing this if the Earth is flat. This can only happen if the Earth is not flat. The other thing happens. Wow, that's interesting. Interesting.
Yep.
He goes.
That's with
So-
everything we've ever talked about on the show. There's levels. If you're just like, I think we faked the moon landing, and you don't really care about it, you're just like, I don't think we went. Whatever. I think you're wrong. Whatever. It's the people that like literally laugh at you for thinking we went to the moon. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
I promise you, no, everybody's laughing at you. It's not.
Yeah,
There's not.
for sure.
You're not in the super secret club of like, look at these idiots thinking we went to the moon. I promise it's the other way around.
Yeah, and not to hijack the point. I just don't understand how there are so many people out there who are so stupid and uneducated that they think Earth is flat. For sure, it's definitely flat. Okay, in that case, I could fall off.
Is that the dumbest conspiracy theory? It might be.
Also, how would it be flat? The pour water on a flat surface. Watch what happens. It's gone. What's holding the oceans?
The
up?
ice wall. The ice wall is holding the water.
The ice wall. There's a ring of ice around the hole. But then, like, what does a flat Earth map look like? Who's next to the ice wall? The supposed ice wall. Who's closest to the edge of the Earth?
I think it's just ocean forever and then the ice wall. And I honestly think that is pretty new because people have said like, well, then let me just sail off the edge. Well, you can't because there's an ice wall.
I could fly off the edge with an airplane.
Could you not just fly out? And I don't know. A plane probably doesn't have enough. Sincerely, they may be scientific for half a second and say a plane doesn't have the thrust to break orbit, so you can't fly off.
You wouldn't have to break orbit if the Earth is flat.
Or maybe it would just like.
That's what I'm saying.
Obviously, it's not flat. There's some thickness to it. But if the Earth is this thick and you're flying around, I guess orbit would like.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what would happen. So like the whole thing, it's such a stupid, baseless, moronic argument that I can't get behind. There's nothing behind it. Nothing. And also, of all the things to lie about, would we be lying in 2024 about the Earth being a sphere, like collectively?
Yeah.
Really? There's a lot of things we could lie about. We're lying about the shape of the Earth and every other planet that we can see and observe, by the way. How can I see the moon out there and like see different... I don't know. Give me a break. Well, honestly, that's about all of our time. Do you have anything else you'd like to say about the moon landing, which did happen?
It happened. That's all I got to say. And sincerely, if you're out there and you're like, nuh-uh, I challenge you, because I know you haven't yet, go do some actual research.
Did we give a
And
teaser
not
for our
TikTok.
conspiracy episode just for it to not happen? I think that happened, didn't it?
We did like forever
Because
ago,
I think
yeah.
you said, spoiler alert, we went to the freaking moon, people.
Yeah,
I remember
that
you
was like
saying
10
this.
episodes
And then
ago at this
we never did it. Something happened.
but-
Something popped up.
Well, what has kept happening and what happened literally again tonight is that either we run out of time and or we're like, I want to sit down and do research about
Yeah,
these
because I've got
things
another
that
one too.
I'm going to argue.
It involves...
Yeah.
I've got actually two like that I'd like to talk about that I do kind of believe. I'm like, I kind of buy into the conspiracy more than I do anything else.
You want to tease those?
So, yeah, it's Wilt Chamberlain's 100-point game and Helen Keller. Helen Keller did not do
she was not
any
real.
of that stuff, bro.
She
She
didn't do
did
that crap.
not. Helen Keller apparently flew a plane. if you didn't know, by the way. Blind, deaf woman. Nonverbal.
Why?
Apparently flew a plane. So, just saying.
She did.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Whatever. I'm not hating, bro. If it's for real, yo, she a real one for that. It just definitely did not happen. Sorry.
And what you're saying is that Wilt Chamberlain's famous 100-point game didn't happen.
There's a lot of evidence implying that it didn't, although obviously there's also a lot of evidence implying it did. A lot of people in the moment seem to remember it happening as if it actually did. I just find it funny that, like, if I'm not mistaken, Wilt himself had to be informed. He scored 100 points. And also,
I think
that's almost a 25% increase from the second highest scoring game ever. You went from 100 to 81. Then no one's passed 81 ever. He scored exactly 100. What? Keep going.
When was that apparently recorded? When?
Early 70s, late 60s, one of the two. Like
okay.
67, 66. We don't have any.
I was gonna ask if it was like during the times where half of the team you're playing against also had day jobs.
Oh, so it definitely was. But you mean to tell me there's footage of Babe Ruth teaching orphans how to throw a knuckleball, and there's not footage of Wilt Chamberlain scoring 100 points. There's a partial radio broadcast. Partial. And there's a lot of conspiracies behind it. Basically, they are one of two thoughts. Either they faked it preemptively, saying, hey, this is going to happen. And he may have actually done so. Staged, or they faked it after the fact. It's a nice round number, 100 points. Boom, 100. Not 101, not 99, exactly 100 points. And for what it's worth, by the way, he apparently scored, over 25 points in the final 8 minutes of the game.
Dude didn't miss. He was the only one shooting.
I've also heard, the reason this, I love Wilt. Dude was a Laker, bro. You know how I feel about my Lakers. But I heard yesterday they apparently, okay, no video footage.
Allegedly.
Of this, of course, there's no video footage of this. He apparently could dunk from the free throw line without running ahead of time.
That's 100% possible.
No shot. He also apparently could jump and grab the ball off the top of the backboard if it was sitting up there. Just like jump casually. Well, I got the rebound.
That's less egregious, but
It is less egregious, but he was not dunking standing still from the free throw line.
No, you're not. That's
You know why you have to stand behind the free throw line, right? Because that's the line I can't cross to shoot free throws. It's because Wilt used to try to dunk standing still, and he could get the dunks off, and they made it to where you can't. Okay. I don't believe you.
Do people really think... Keep talking for a second.
Mind you, guess how many championships this amazing athlete Wilt Chamberlain has?
What?
1. You know how many Bill Russell has?
What?
11. Same exact strategy. Dominating center that nobody knew how to play against. I don't know what to do about this freakishly tall athlete. What should we do? Well, they're going to win. Okay. Wilt Chamberlain doing all this, won 1 title with 2 other Hall of Famers. Yeah, right, bro.
So I wanted to look this up to confirm. The men's long jump world record is 30 feet.
That's long.
Obviously, they are sprinting at full speed.
Yeah, you
beforehand.
Fly.
And they
what's broad jump? Broad jump is standing still, right?
Yes. Sincerely, how high is a person doing a long jumping? They don't jump very high because obviously that's not the goal.
Yes, that defeats the purpose. Yeah,
horizontally. So at top speed, jumping mostly horizontally, they go 30 feet. You're saying how far is the free throw line from the back?
I'm gonna guess. It's just a guess. I'm gonna guess 12 to 16 feet. I could easily figure this out. 12 feet. Boom.
Might see this says 15 feet.
Players should be at least 12 feet away. The distance of the backboard of the charity stripe should be 15 feet.
Yeah, this is 15 feet.
This one says 19 feet from the baseline, 50 feet from... Okay, it's 15. It's 15. 15.
So that's half. That's half the distance
of
the world record broad when jump? Running at top speed.
Okay, but here's the thing. Give me world record broad jump. That's what I want. We don't want long jump. We want broad jump.
I honestly forgot about the term broad jump until you said it.
I'm sure it's more than 15
Standing
feet.
long jump. It's 11 feet. The world record.
You're full of crap, people.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Because here's the thing.
Well, it's one of those things where, here you go, because they're wording it differently. Apparently, somebody in the NFL,
that's the world
Byron
record.
Jones at 2015 had 12 feet. Had 12 feet, 3 inches.
So it's quite literally.
Oh no, that's long
far
jump.
enough.
Google's ticking me off because the question literally asks, "quote What is the longest broad jump?" The second longest jump. It didn't necessarily say broad. Standing long jump.
It says 12'3" broad jump is a world record. Byron Jones. It says that 12 foot 3 inch broad jump is a world record apparently.
And that's just they're just going horizontally. They're not trying to go vertically.
There's
you
no
also have to go
vertical
10 feet in the air. Not 10 feet in the air. You have to go.
You only have to go like 2 when you're that tall, like 2 feet. But
still, you have to be able to reach 10 feet.
And mind you, that is accepted as fact. Can you dunk from the free throw line? I'm gonna Google that.
In Space Jam, they did.
NBA Jam, you did too.
That's one of those things like it literally.
Here it is.
It cannot be physically possible. It cannot be.
r/NBA. You can't dunk your free throws because Wilt Chamberlain was seen by Hall of Fame coach Tex Winters doing this as a freshman at Kansas. Tex Winters was in charge of rules and regulations at the time and made sure to immediately outlaw it.
But no, because you can't move from the
It's not
baseline at
true.
all, right? I can't jump forward in the middle of my free throw. You can't.
Well, no. Apparently, it was outlawed through Tex Winters.
If he was doing that, that's fine. If he was jumping forward to then make it basically a layup, outlaw
not
it,
dunking from the free throw line.
whatever.
Give
He
me
was
freaking
not
people.
dunking. He was not.
No. So I didn't mean to get into it. We were planning on kind of saving that, but there's a lot of evidence out there saying he did not actually have a 100-point game. There's obviously a lot of evidence saying he did. I am probably 50-50, but I definitely entertain the idea that it didn't happen, if nothing else in part because he never even came closer than the 70s other than that. And also, we've only gotten to 81 since then. No way, bro.
I don't know.
No one even scored 100 in the All-Star game, and they scored like 230 points.
I don't know enough to argue, but solely based on the fact that we just now proved like an apparent fact about him wrong. By doing research, you also try it.
Our listeners are smart. The people that aren't listening are the ones
That's
who
what it is.
should try it.
I do got one more point I want to make that I just not randomly thought of about the moon thing. Specifically about the phone. How do we talk to the moon? Do you also then not believe that Neil Armstrong was talking to Houston whenever he said, one small step for man, one small leap for mankind? That's not what he said. I just butchered it, but you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Do you believe that was fake too? Because he was communicating with them. They were communicating with him.
Yeah.
Was that fake too? Because otherwise, how does it not make sense that... What's the difference between dude sitting in the comm room going, "Oh, you look good up there, yeah, but touchdown, oh," and me going and going from this to this? "Oh, hey, how you doing up there? How's it?" What's the difference?
I'm not sure the point you're getting at with that, although I'm definitely on your side. How about that?
The point is, people say we didn't call the moon. We didn't have the technology to call the moon. But clearly, like, from the footage, they were talking. Like Houston was... Command Center was talking to them.
Yeah.
Whenever he said, "That's one small step for man," he was talking to Houston. He was talking to the world. So do you believe that was fake too? But you just choose to focus on the phone? I don't know.
I don't even know the phone thing. Maybe I should save that for another day. I don't even know what you're getting at with that. So,
Like how the president was sitting there talking to... He talked to Neil Armstrong on the moon. The
I didn't
president
know that.
did.
I didn't know that. Wow.
That's recorded. Like, I'm coming to you from, the Oval Office, and he talks back.
I did not know that. Good to know.
Yeah. People think it's fake.
People are asking.
Because we have the technology to send a pod to the moon, but not for a phone call. Makes sense.
Apparently. Well, that's it for me, pal. You got anything else to say to the beautiful
I'm good,
people
dude.
out
I've
there?
been salty this week. I enjoyed that.
I said before we recorded, you seem pissed off.
You
I did say that
yeah.
to your face. I said you seem pissed off.
Yeah.
So, I think you took it out on the flat earthers and the non-moonlanders. How about that?
There you go. Sorry about it. Do some research.
Hashtag do some research. Hashtag who day.
Peace.